Alright guys, first of all I apologize for all the noise in the background. It's raining out. I should be home. It's time to go home, but it's raining. And better than that, my shop is still leaking pretty badly. I don't know how many times I've been up on that roof, but it was pretty piss poor to begin with. Anyway, I worked on a couple of projects tonight, and all of a sudden I'm looking over and I see this freaking motorcycle chain laying on the floor, and I get this bug up my I welded it together, kind of. I have no idea. But actually, I don't think I've ever seen a video on this even. I'm going to see what we can do about maybe making this one piece of steel. I got an opportunity maybe to make some specialty knives for custom motorcycles. And I can't imagine a better looking knife. I'm not sure what the steel would be like in there, but a better looking knife than one made out of a motorcycle chain. So just come along, deal with the noise in the background. This one's for fun. I don't really have an objective right now. Alright, well, you know me, I'm not one to pretend to know what I'm doing. I certainly don't know what I'm doing. Just kind of get this thing heated up, try to get some of the crap burnt off of it. That's the plan. Now, I know I need to get rid of the air in there. It's not going to weld with all that air in there. I want the chain pattern when I get done, so I think I'm going to flatten it this way first, and then maybe fold it over and try to weld it all together that way. Like I said, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but that's the plan anyway. Again, the objective is to do nothing but to flatten this out, to get rid of that air space in between them. Just hope my weld's hold enough for me to get through that part. Hopefully those rivets stay intact so those links stay on. I got one loose one I can tell already. One or two, I'm not gonna cry. Damn. I got a long ways to go, I'll tell you. And I'll take round two. I'll tell you, there's a massive amount of heat coming off of that thing. I'll flip this over this time. The plan, if I'm done with it, is not gonna work well. What I better do is get this sucker up to some welding heat, and we'll start welding pieces of it together, and then we'll get the air out of it best we can. A lot of heat. My objective isn't to do the weld, just to get some tack welding going on. That's the hope anyway. So I'm not going to go crazy with it. Just trying to get some tack welding going on. That was hot. And I think I was successful. I think I got something going. Yeah. Looks good, boy. A lot of heat here. One spot, I'll tell you. That looks good. I'll come up a little bit more now. I switched to my small hammer because, like I mentioned before, I like a lot of speed on these initial welds, and I think here it's very important. Man, it's hot. I can't. Ouch. Hot little trigger. Hot little trigger. I'm sure I'm welding something, but I'm not welding a whole lot, that's for sure. But now I'm back up to here with whatever I was doing. Ooh, I don't know what to do next here. I know this stuff isn't welded well down here on this end. It can't be. There's too much air. I need a heavy glove on both hands. I think I'll switch gloves for this job. What do you guys think? Should I go this way with it, maybe? Get it to welding heat and try to consolidate that way a little? I just don't know. I know I'm going to go back to this end now. Alright, let's go for another one, see what happens. Farther than that. I really don't. I almost need goggles for this exercise. Almost. Boy, I'm telling you, I really want to start going this way with it. Let's see what happens if I put a little force that way. just to start moving the steel. Of course, I'm not trying to weld it, but I don't want to break any little welds that I have. Just don't know, children. It's a learning experience, that's for sure. I've gone ahead and put a face shield on. Too much stuff flying for me. I've got a little heavier hammer. Children. You just don't know about this stuff. Something's happening, but I don't like how it's spread out. We'll do it one more time. Something's happening. I just don't know what. It's getting close. I think I'm going to go one more time and then we'll flip it around and try the other side there. It's, you know, it's welding slowly, little by little. Let's see what this one gives us. All I'm really trying to do is get enough where I can fold the thing and then get a proper weld on it, I'm hoping. I'm going to flip around, we'll see what happens. I mean, something's happening there. It's not all welded, but it's starting. My fire's being stubborn, so I'm just going to go ahead and just start flattening this like I did before. Just trying to keep those rivets where I want them. Get some of that air out of there. Oh, that's what I don't want, is a bunch of those things popping off. I'm going to lose those patterns. Like I know what I'm talking about. Getting there. I think it's important how you start this process, and maybe cut them and stack them side by side might be best. But I'm trying to get as much of that pattern as possible. And again, not knowing what I'm doing, what I'm really trying to, I think what I'm trying to do is just get this flat so that I can fold it and deal with something a little smaller and more dense. I mean, it makes sense. It just seems like a heck of a lot of work to get there. That's all I'm saying. If I can get into this section and then give it a fold. You guys missed a step. I took what I had and I folded it over. Now I'm trying to weld those two pieces together. Alright, we'll see what this one gives us. Right in the face. I can't tell what the hell's going on. Something's happening. If I can get through this and then fold it this way, I think we can go ahead and start taking some of that air out. Again, I'm not after a solid piece. There's no way to get it because of all the gaps in between the chain. If I can get to this end and then fold it in half, I'll have more of a rectangular shape. I might be alright. I'm not getting up to the heat that I want in the flare. And I think that's because this thing's so wide it's not letting any air up to the upper coal. So I'm going to try to roll it again. I tell you, the smart thing to do would be to cut it, huh? It really would be. Let's cut it. So I cut it a little. We're going to see if we can get a bend out of it. hope we can. Unfortunately, I didn't cut it even. So we're going to deal with that somewhere down the road. I'm sure. Come on, bitch. Alright, I was hoping not to have to weld it. We're okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to get this whole freaking mass up to welding temperature and see if we can get something to happen. Alright, as much as I really like to use a heavy hammer on this first weld, I'm going to stick to what I normally do. Just try to get it stuck together. Because we got a lot of air in this thing. Boy, I'll tell you, we got a lot less air now, don't we? Holy shit. And that did something. Look at that. Look at the thickness difference through here. That, I would say, you're good, right? That gave us a pretty good weld. I'm pleased with that. Look at the difference in thickness. Right, let's see what we get here. I'm going to do a flip on this. That didn't look good. That whole piece right there. It's not down. That's what happens when you don't have the shit together. You gotta have it tight for that weld to happen. Now, that might be too late for this piece. We'll see if we can get her snug. We'll flux the shit of it. We'll see if we can get her to stick on the next one. Alright, this one's going to determine whether we give up for the night or keep going. I moved up to the bigger hammer, so I got to move that piece. It's not really where I want it. I want to move it quick, so let's hope we got enough. Holy sugars, I should have worn a face mask. I think I'm on fire. Was I on fire? My beard was on fire. How long were you going to sit there before you told me?
I didn't realize.
But you know what? We're getting freaking close there. Stuff's starting to stick. What we got coming up here now. I'll tell you, there's something happening in this section here. It ain't what I wish it were. But it ain't horrible either. Like this piece here, it's gone. I gotta just accept that piece is gone. But if I can get this mass in here in the center to stick, I think we might have something. Half the problem is this thing is so wide that I can only get forging heat on one side of it. It makes it a hell of a long process. That's forging heat right there. Stop. Oh, you're so good. Well, I'll tell you, I think I got enough steel that's good in there where I can start thinking about the next move. And I think the next move is to cut it and fold it again. I really do. Unless you guys think I can go this way with it now. And I know I'm going to lose all this stuff on the outside. As long as I don't roll that into the mix. Yeah, that piece is gone. Is that what you think I should do? rude on an anvil. It's gone now. This piece here I don't need. Alright, I'll do what you think. Let's see what we get here. We don't want to be breaking our welds too much, but if we can squeeze it down a little, take out some of that air that's in this plane. Not only will it give me more consolidated steel, but I'll be able to take that and bring it up to forge welding temperature and hopefully get it into one solid mass. You know what I mean? So, again, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but it makes sense to me. If I can take a piece that was this big and squeeze it down, I'm running out of air in there. Looks like a solid piece. Let's squeeze this thing one more time. Again, at this point, I know it's not welded. I'm just trying to consolidate it without it falling apart. I'm probably messing the crap out of my pattern, but as much as I do care, having it work at all is the first priority. A lot of hammering, I'll tell you. Alright, we're going to try to weld again. Need that piece. At this point I'm trying to do two things. I'm trying to get a weld on this, but I'm also trying to condense it to get the air pockets out. So hopefully I can do both and still have enough steel left over. To make a decent blade. Is consolidating. Just need to be careful. Like I've pretty much given up on all of this. It might not be too late, but it sure looks it. I'll go ahead and try to weld up here. This is looking good in here. I think I can go from here to here. I'm sure I wasted this stuff, guys. I'm learning. Alright, at this point I'm going to try to tuck that end in. If I can forge weld it, awesome, to get more steel, but in reality what I'm really trying to do is stick it enough so it doesn't continue to fracture as I work the piece. So I'm hoping that I can at least accomplish that. Well, I moved to the smaller hammer so I can get some lighter, faster strokes in there. And again, I'm not trying to totally weld it. Hopefully, give it enough integrity. Like I said, I've conceded to losing this part here. I don't know for sure, but I'd like to gain this inch up here, this 2 inches. If I can get that to stick well, I got plenty enough to make what I'm looking for. 2 of them actually. Here goes nothing. I really hope I can get a good hit on this. I really do. I really do. I'll tell you, it sure does look scary, don't it? Not give up on it scary, but it's getting scary. It really is. I'm using this piece down here. I'm going to go one more time in here. I'm going to cut those ends off so they don't continue to fraction, and we'll see what we can get about making a solid piece. Switching back to the small hammer, because what I'm really trying to do is take a couple of those pieces that are just hanging. I fluxed them clean the best I could. I'm hoping that I can get those pieces to stick and become part of the main body. So I want super fast hammering. Not after quartz so much. I think that's as good as we're going to get it. I think that's as good as we're going to get it. So what I'm going to do, go ahead and nip off this part that ain't no good. A lot of heat from my poor little cutoff tool, but she'll live. Fight another day. Cooled off. And she didn't even sizzle. So we ain't solid yet, children, but we're getting there. And we'll go ahead and nip off this other side. I hate to lose so much, but I don't want to take the chance of it. Besides, all I need is one piece to work. I actually think I'm in trouble here as it is, but we're not done welding yet. All the hot stuff we want. That's pretty ugly down there, but what I'm going to do, again, I'm sure I'm freaked up here, but if I keep working this at welding temperature, I think I'll be okay. I'm going to work it down at welding temperature. I'm just going to keep going in both directions. I know I'm freaking up the pattern, but at this point I'm trying to get a solid piece. Well, it's been 2 hours since I started. The sad thing is, a guy with a hydraulic press probably could have done this in half an hour, but I guess it's to prove that it can be done is more important. So you get an idea what I'm trying to do here. Welding heat, I'm just trying to condense everything together, see if I can turn this into one solid piece, and then I'll turn it into the shape that I want. Like I said, somebody with a press, zip, 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 done. All of that change could have been crushed into something much more dense in just a couple of moves. But one thing about it, let's say I am successful, which it's looking good, at least for part of it. I've lost a lot of steel though. The amount of learning that just occurred in these last 2 hours, watching the steel and seeing it move and what it does and catching my beard on fire and all that kind of stuff. It's worth the trial. It really is. At the same time, you got to be realistic. I can't charge somebody for the 2 hours that I spent doing that when it could have been done in half an hour with the right equipment. You know, so when it comes to production and making money, I mean, somebody may appreciate the fact that it was all hammered out. It would take somebody special to do that. But in reality, I mean, you're eating those hours to learn the experience. And then if you decide you want to go with a hydraulic press or a power hammer, you make that move so you can produce these items affordably for people. Right now, it's still the experience. Again, trying to work this stuff at welding temperature and close to it. Hoping this stuff that isn't quite welded together yet will weld. That piece went high. I don't see anything to smoking over there. Hit my table right there. I got lots of pieces that aren't welded, but hopefully they'll either break off when the time comes and I'll still have good steel, or with the right heat and the right hit, they'll become part of the steel. One of the two. scared down at that end. I just keep fracturing more and more. I'm gonna go for a forged weld here, right on the end, and see if I can get that stuff back together. My guess is I can't. I've yet to see that happen. Technically, you should be able to if I can get enough crap out of there. Man, I hate to see this whole thing just start falling apart on me. Could happen.
About up to welding.
I went back to the small hammer because I really want to try to tack those pieces together. That. I found that small hammer is the best to do that. It looks good. This piece here I think is in. I have the fracture right here though. I got to try to weld together. So we're going to see what we can do about that. Keep working it. Stubborn, right? I moved up to the big hammer because I really only have maybe 1 or 2 whacks that I have time for. I got to go through a lot of steel to make that impact count. So I want enough weight and momentum to stick those 2 pieces together. Here we go. Let's hope that was enough. Certainly was a good welding temperature. Doesn't look too bad to me. Not too bad at all. Let's get this other side down to where we want it to be. Whew. I hope I am. I'm good here. What we got? Yeah, we're there. I don't know if I got it, quite honestly. Well, I'll tell you guys, I can't see at a microscopic level, believe it or not. I can't do that, but boy, it's looking pretty good. I'm not totally happy with what happened here. I'm going to go one more time, just in case there's a little bit that didn't well. Too good not to try. That's it. That's all I want to do. That much. Out into a nice little billet, block, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what I'll do today because it's been 2.5 hours. It's almost 9 o'clock. Is I'll let me just squeeze and clean this end up down here. I'll grind it down, get her nice and smooth, and we'll etch her quick tonight and see what we have. Anybody else getting tired yet? Sad thing is, I spent literally the entire day on the computer today until about, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, doing emails and YouTube and orders. Man, one thing I've learned since being here is the amount of unproducing time required to run a AKA business. It's unbelievable. Alright, let me run a flatter on that since I can. Save a little bit of material grinding. Oh, I wish you hadn't done that. That was rude. Yeah, I know. It's time Chandler made a hold down, huh? Or a hold fast, or whatever you want to call it. Boy, I see fissures in there. I'm not good. I can tell you right now. But who knows? Who knows? Hey, by the way, notice the new glove? Yeah. See how long it lasts. See how long it lasts. Not long with me flipping. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they're superficial. Alright, let's let that sucker cool down a little bit. And we will, I'll hit it with the grinder. And we'll just see what the pattern is. At this point, looking at it, structural integrity, I give it about a 70% chance of being good. Most of it is, but it, you know, when you squeeze out a knife, geez, you can't have any of it. It's bad, but we'll see what we get. Let me cool it down. We'll grind it up. What is that? A burn mark on my face? I hope not. All right. Anyway, guys, I gotta have these on, I guess. Not exactly what I hoped for. I probably lost about half the chain in the process, but. What do you think? Huh? So you can see the links there. Unfortunately, because I went this way with the steel, if I had cut it and folded it, I would have been able to maintain a more rounded link than this distorted shape. But you can see them in there. I mean, they got pretty distorted. It's still a pretty cool pattern. Is it solidly welded? I don't know. See this? Where is it? I just saw it right here. I don't know. So we might have some, well, this is definitely not right there. So we might have some issues, but I think strategically we could put that into the tang and put the blade on this side. This side looks pretty good. So I'm impressed enough. I mean, it's not perfect. If I had a power hammer or a hydraulic press, this thing could have been done much better and much more quickly. But can you forge weld chain with just a hammer and an anvil? The answer is yeah. Can you forge weld it well? I think somebody with experience can. I think I could probably do it again and maybe do a better job. But I tell you, it's pretty cool. So we'll hold on to this. We'll turn it into a knife. It's just enough steel to make a nice small knife. And I got a couple ideas. So sorry for the long video, but that's what happens when you're ready to leave and you get this, hey, I wonder if I can quickly. And it doesn't turn out to be so quickly. There's where I didn't etch up here, was above the etch, and there's where the etching is. Ferrochloride acid, what I etched it in, borax, is what I use for a flux. Lots of hammer, lots of heat, and 3 hours, a little, almost 3 hours. Actually 2.5 hours, because I was talking to somebody for the last 20 minutes. So, all right, take care, catch you on the next one.